What's up, everyone? Today's Talk About It Tuesday is going to be part 2 of our All About Eevee series that we started last Tuesday. Today we're going to finish talking about the rest of the Eevees, which are Flareon, Espeon, Umbreon, Sylveon, Leafeon, and Glaceon. So keep watching if you want to learn some fun facts that you might not already know about our favorite Eevees. All right, today we're going to start off talking about Flareon, aka Fire Kitty. She's number 136 in the Pokédex, and she also made her first appearance in Jungle alongside Eevee, Vaporeon, and Jolteon. She's kind of a shorty. She's 2 foot 11 inches and 55.1 pounds. So she is definitely smaller than Vaporeon, but obviously bigger than Eevee. I think something really cute about Flareon is that she physically resembles Eevee the most. I think mostly in her face and just body in general. Flareon evolves with a Firestone. What? Fire Kitty evolves with a Firestone? Who would have thunk? Inside of Flareon, there's a flame sac, okay? And her body can reach 1,650 degrees Fahrenheit. And her mouth, like the flame she shoots out of her mouth, can reach 3,092 degrees Fahrenheit. That is very hot. And actually her yellow fur, so she has a big yellow floofy around her neck that actually releases heat so that she doesn't suffocate from, like the 3,000 degree temperature that she kind of like produces in her body, Temperament-wise, Flareon is actually very shy, and when she's nervous, she releases large amounts of heat through her fur, but don't let that fool you, she can be very hot-headed. And to wrap up Flareon, her weaknesses are water, ground, and rock. Now onto my favorite for the moment. My favorite Eevee changes a lot, but that would be Espeon. Okay? Number 196 in the Pokédex. She is 2 feet 11 inches tall and she weighs 58.4 pounds. So Espeon made her first TCG appearance in Neo Discovery, and that was in 2000 in Japanese and 2001 in English. Eevee evolves into Espeon with high levels of friendship during the daytime or with a sun shard. So if you want an Espeon, you gotta be besties with your Eevee, okay? So Espeon has a red gem embedded in her forehead, and she also has a forked tail. So her forked tail quivers when she's predicting her opponent's next attack, and her gem on her forehead glows when she's unleashing her psychic powers, her psychic energy, and the gem darkens when it's been exhausted. Espeon's luscious velvety fur is so sensitive that it can sense small changes in the air, which helps her predict the weather and predict her opponent's movements and thoughts so that it can help her attack better. So she's basically like the coolest Pokemon ever, not gonna lie. Espeon also loves to nap during the day. She likes to sunbathe to build up her powers, which recharges, her little gem on her forehead. She is not good at night battles because she thrives during the daytime. So now we're going to talk about Umbreon, which is basically her opposite. So Espeon's, like a day kitty, and Umbreon is a night kitty. Umbreon is a black kitty, and she has yellow bands around her ears and her tail, and other rings scattered around her body. Umbreon's rings glow when she's excited, also like when she's ready to attack, or when she's exposed to moonlight, which charges her energy. And like we said, Espeon's gem glows for the same reasons, except hers charges with the sun. Umbreon definitely does her best fighting at night because she is nocturnal, which means that she sleeps during the day and more is awake at night. Kind of like a raccoon, if you will. Her black fur allows her to camouflage really well during the nighttime, again, allowing her to be a really good night fighter. I think something really cool about Umbreon is that she can control and manipulate lunar energy, which she can also absorb to enhance her strengths. So she's basically like the queen of the moon, I guess. I don't know. But last up for Umbreon is that her weaknesses are fighting, bug, and fairy. So she can control the moon, but she can't beat up a bug. All right, now we're going to talk about Sylveon. I'm not going to lie, Sylveon is at the bottom of my list for favorite Pokemon. Sylveon and Glaceon, there's no hate, they're just not my favorite. But anyway, she is number 700 in the Pokédex, so she shows up way later in the timeline than a lot of the others. So she made her first appearance as a promo, Black Star promo for XY. And she is a fairy type. I think I'm just not a big fairy type fan. Nothing against them. I just think I prefer others, you know? Sylveon is also 3 foot 3 inches. There seems to be a lot of Eevees that are 3 feet 3 inches. She weighs 51.8 pounds. Eevee evolves into Sylveon with high friendship levels and with a fairy type move. Sylveon has 2 bows on her body. She has one around her left ear and she has one on her neck. So from her bows, she can release these like feelers. They're ribbon-like feelers, kind of like limbs that extend far from her body. These little feelers, if you will, emit soothing auras to kind of calm down her opponent, so then she's able to strike them when they're calm. So like I said, she's a little manipulative. You can use her cuteness for to be a good fighter, but all the respect to Sylveon, just not one of my faves. And Sylveon's weaknesses are poison and steel, which honestly, I feel like those would probably take out most people, including myself. All right, we got 2 more Eeveelutions to go. Next up, we have Leafeon. Leafeon is one of my favorites as someone who really loves nature. I just think she's adorable. She is number 470 in the Pokédex. She is a grass type Pokemon. She made her first appearance in Majestic Dawn. Cool beans. She is also 3 feet 3 inches tall, which again is a very common theme amongst Eeveelutions. And she weighs in about 56.2 pounds. My girl Leafeon is not really a fighter. She does not prefer to fight, but she will if she has to. She just wants to spend her days frolicking in the forest, doing her thing. But, you know, she might not start a fight, but she will finish one. She's a cutie patootie with small green sprouts growing on her legs, her chest, her back, and her longest sprout grows from her tail. And what's super cute about Leafeon is her ears look like leaves. I think the coolest thing that I learned about Leafeon is that her cellular structure is super similar to plants. So she actually performs photosynthesis. So she does not eat regular food. She performs photosynthesis, which is basically when plants absorb light to nourish themselves. So part of her photosynthesis is she will purify the air around her while she sleeps under the sun. Like Espeon really enjoys the sun, you know, really charges her batteries in that way. She's got a super heightened sense of smell, which she can also use against opponents. And Leafeon evolves near a moss rock. So she has to be in a certain type of environment to evolve, which we haven't really... I cut myself off there. Which we haven't really seen in the other Eeveelutions. She's very calm. She's very composed. But unfortunately, she kind of has a lot of weaknesses. Her weaknesses are fire, ice, poison, flying, and bug. I think that's the most weaknesses I've seen for any of the other evolutions so far. But she doesn't really like to fight. She just wants to vibe, which I can totally relate to. And our last Eevee that we're going to talk about is Glaceon. I personally always forget about Glaceon. When I'm listing the 8 Eeveelutions, she's always the one I forget. No hate, she's just like Sylveon. She's at the bottom of my list. She's number 471 in the Pokédex. She is an ice type. She also, like Leafeon, makes her first TCG appearance in Majestic Dawn. She is significantly, I can't say that. She is significantly shorter than a lot of the other Eeveelutions at 2 feet, 7 inches tall, weighing 57.1 pounds. So Glaceon can control her body heat, and she's able to freeze the air around her, creating this like diamond dust flurry, and the coldness from that also creates snow. So she's kind of the ice queen. Kind of the opposite from Flareon. Flareon can increase her body temperature super hot. Glaceon can also lower her body temperature to negative 75 degrees Fahrenheit. When she lowers her body heat, she's actually able to freeze her fur into sharp needles that she can like shoot out at her opponents. But she can become hypothermic if she overexerts herself. So she needs to, take a chill pill sometimes. Get it? Her kind of her ice needles are similar to Jolteon, and Jolteon's able to create shocky needles. Shocky spikes, if you will. Glaceons can kind of become an icy porcupine, I guess. Glaceon is a super skillful hunter, but her weaknesses are fire, which just totally makes sense, steel, rock, and fighting. All right, friends, that wraps up part 2 of our All About Eevee segment. So we've talked about Eevee, Jolteon, Flareon, Vaporeon, Espeon, Umbreon, Leafeon, Glaceon, Sylveon, and did I forget one? I don't think so. All right, so join us next Tuesday for another segment of Talk About It Tuesday. Topic to be determined. Leave in the comments something you would like me to talk about. Otherwise, I'm just going to pick something I want to. So see you next Tuesday, friends.